Hey Kotaku, we are here looking at DriveClub, and I am here with Paul, who works on DriveClub. And Paul, what is your role on this game?
I'm one of the design directors on DriveClub.
Okay, so you're one of the design directors.
So I'm kind of responsible for a wide range of areas, but in particular, I'm responsible for making sure the cars feel great. The handling is a very important part of DriveClub, where we've gone for this different sort of handling model where it's not really a simulation. Whilst obviously it's grounded in reality, we want to make sure we deliver authentically on these real cars. We also want to make sure it's accessible, it's pick up and play, it's fun, it's something that you can really throw the cars around with and just have a good time with.
So tell me a little bit about this level that we're looking at right now. This is a demo stage.
Yeah, this is the first level that we decided to show off. This is Kinloch. This is based in Scotland. It's a very simple loop-based circuit which is based upon real roads up in Scotland. Whilst it's not identical, it's not one-to-one of the real location, what we try to do with all of our tracks is, we've been there, we've got the reference footage, etc., and we've got all the data, and we try to replicate it as close as possible, but then we always want to make sure it's the most fun experience as well. So where a corner doesn't necessarily work well in the game, we'll change that. Because obviously we want to make sure that it's all about having the most thrilling experience while driving around these roads. So we'll take liberties with the real world.
Okay, and as you can see, I'm just destroying my car right now. So what is that we're looking at right now? A face-off, cornering face-off. So I'm trying to beat someone else's score?
Yeah, exactly. These are dynamic goals that we pull into the race. So it doesn't really matter what you're doing, whether you're racing online against someone, playing a single player, or just playing time trial. You'll have dynamic objectives called face-offs pulled into your world, and these might be trying to set the best cornering score, or the best drift score, or the best average speed score. This is the drift one that you're approaching now. And so that'll just pull someone down off the server for you to try and beat. If you manage to beat their score, you get rewarded with fame, and fame's kind of one of the game's currencies. And you can use that to level up, and leveling up will give you new assets and new content inside the game to use. Yeah. And so it's one of these mechanics where it's important for us because racing games, traditionally, it's always difficult because there's only ever one person who can be first. And if you're not ahead, then sometimes it's quite a demoralising experience. So we wanted to make sure with features such as face-offs, is that even if you're in last place, there are objectives for you to do and ways for you to win in your own unique way. Like, for example, in this demo, we've got 2 different leaderboards, one of which is best time, but the other one is the best fame score. So if you do well in each of the face-off areas and score well for doing driver actions, which are basically any sort of cool activity, you can be top of the score leaderboard instead. So it's just different ways that suit different players' play styles and allow everyone to have fun in a different way.
So Paul, what have you done with this game that you would not be able to do on the PlayStation 3 or on current gen console?
Well, one of the things we're trying to do, obviously from a visual point of view, we've gone to kind of insane amount of detail on the cars themselves. You know, these are some of the highest modelled cars I think you'll see in any driving game, where we've got the inside and the outside delivered to an exceptional level of fidelity. But we've also gone with a global illumination system. Typically on the last generation, on the PlayStation 3, what you'd have, everything is baked in. All the lighting is kind of static, all the shadows are set in stone almost. Where here, with this global illumination system that we've got, everything's dynamic. So if a cloud passes through the sky or the sun changes position, shadows will be cast dynamically, and it's just a much more real experience. As you'll notice when you're playing this demo.
Yeah, when I'm failing at this. Can the PlayStation 4 make me a better player?
Yeah. You'll notice that the sun's actually starting to set.
That's how bad I am. It took me all day to do this.
So as the sun starts to set, the shadows will drop, and eventually your headlights will turn on, and in the Scotland track there isn't actually any artificial lighting, so you'll be just driving with the moonlight and the stars lighting the track. So that's visually one of the important things that we're trying to do with the game. But then there's also the whole kind of social integration of the Sony platform that we're trying to push. You can actually, if you hit the barriers with enough force, you can actually deform those barriers and push them back. So we're trying to make sure the world isn't quite as static either as in traditional games. So there you go.
Okay.
Actually starting to bend it back. you can't.
My goal is to come here and just wreck as much havoc as possible.
You can't actually destroy the car. It's one of the things that we didn't want to punish the players.
Oh,
for
I think I'm playing against you now.
Oh yeah, it's me.
Unless I crash into a tower.
Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't want to punish the players for crashing.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake and damage your car, it's just a visual effect.
Okay.
Your car will still perform at the same level, so you can still,
destroyed.
compete at the same level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do I get good at this game? How do I learn how to steer properly?
Okay. Well, one of the things that obviously you don't get in the demo, which you do in the full game, you don't start off with the faster cars.
Right.
You're in the super and hyper cars now, which are a little bit more challenging. We wanted to make sure we had some nice, fast, appealing cars inside the demo. But in the core game, you'll be able to start off with your front wheel hot hatch, something that's more familiar, something that's a little bit slower. And we'll also put you on some of the easier tracks to start off with as well. So we'll make sure it's a gentle introduction to the game, so you can kind of learn how DriveClub handles and get the most out of it going forwards.
And is this comparing me to people who have played the game anywhere?
Just today.
Today, but it will be throughout the world.
Oh yeah, in the full game, what we'll be doing is we have like a DriveClub server, and the DriveClub server essentially tracks everything you do inside the game.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, thanks a lot, Paul.
Yeah, no problem.
Much appreciated.
Cheers.